Good afternoon, guys and girls. So today we have got a lane departure and forward facing radar fault. This is on a Renault D range, and as we can see it comes up EABS out of service. So I know that this vehicle has had some body work done recently. It's had a new front bumper, which just happens to where the FLS is mounted. So we'll plug in, check the fault codes, and as you can see there we have open circuit for the FLS, lost communication also for the FLS. Using my prior knowledge of this vehicle, I'm going to go straight to the FLS and remove the cover, which is here, just mounted in the bumper there. And if you can spot the problem already, you've got a very keen eye. Knowing this has had work done previously, I was expecting to see that was actually unplugged. However, as you can now see, you can see the rubber boot, which is for keeping the water out of the plug. That is not the same as the other three wires above it. So, and there we go, I can just pull it out with my fingers. That is what's causing our problem. So I'm going to try and just put it back in the plug and see if it holds. Failing that, which I doubt it will, we're going to get a new pin on there. And we're just going to pop this yellow bar down and out. That's the locking bar for the plug. Pull the plug off. There we go. And as you can see, there's no shiny silver bit in the plug there, and that tiny little yellow bar in the middle there, we're just going to need to pop that out. That's a locking bar to hold the pins into the plug. There we go, just pop that out like that. That only comes out a little bit, just enough to release the pins. And as you can see, like I said, I did try to push it back in. I don't want to know. It's going to get a new pin. That's the best thing to do. And failing that, that'd have a new plug. So there we go. Cutters, strippers and crimpers all ready to go. Cut these terminals off fairly high up, close to the second crimp, that way you can reuse the boot without damaging it. We'll get that wire stripped, get the boot on, get the new terminal crimped. Wasn't entirely happy with the first attempt at stripping that wire. It looks a bit straggly on the end there, so I'm just going to re-strip it, re-twist it, get the rubber boot on, as you can see now, and once you see the copper comes through, it's perfectly twisted and shaped, ready to receive the new terminal. Can't show you crimping the terminal there. It's a two-handed job, but that is a very neat, tidy crimp. Hasn't bent the pin at all, and that's what happens when we use the right tool for the job. So we get that pushed in there, get the yellow bar clip back in, and as you can see now, we can see the pin is up near the face of the socket, and we just get that all plugged back in. Next step, get back over to the laptop, refresh our fault codes. As you can see, the open circuit's gone inactive and the lost communications has also gone inactive. I'm happy we've fixed the original fault. So we'll get them cleared off, and then we'll start looking at getting the calibration done. Needs a calibration anyway. It has had a front end shunt, and as our manufacturers recommend, you must calibrate the forward radar after doing the forward facing camera. There's the forward facing camera hiding in behind there. The older ones you used to have to pop that off and adjust them manually, but on the new ones you don't need to. It's all done via the software. That's the calibration board. So we come onto the computer, lane position camera. We do that first, then we have to make sure the truck is in the correct position. Always measure off the cab mounts to the board, making sure that you have the same measurement each side. This will ensure that you are square to the board, and we also need to make sure we are further enough away from the board and that the truck is in the middle of the board. So our measurements tell us to go to the centre of the first axle wheel, and also need to make sure that the board is at the correct height, which happens to be 2 meters. Click continue there on the calibration. We'll just let that run. That'll automatically calibrate itself. These are software calibrations now. The older ones were mechanical, where you actually had to adjust the position of the camera in the bracket. A lot easier on these ones. Then, as you can see, once this is calibrated, nice green tick to say completed. That gets printed out and stapled to our job cards, just to cover our backsides, because you never know these days, guys. Just got to be extra careful. Calibrate FLS after LPOS calibration. So that one, the FLS, needs a dynamic calibration, which means run it up the road, and in order to run it up the road I need to make sure it's road legal. So I'm just going to finish changing some of these lights. Notice this light wasn't working, and when I took the bulb holder out, would you believe it hasn't got a bulb in it. There we go, as bright as a cheap QD candle. So we'll get that back in there. Also noted there was no number plate on the rear, so I'll put a new number plate on it. That's all ready to go. And then we'll do the dynamic calibration. That calibrated, got a big green tick. Everyone's happy. Time to send it.